Now, 91 political parties will be on the ballot. And what this means is that there could be 91 different ideologies for the electorate to choose from. Now, is it possible to distinguish one ideology from the other this late in the race? Let's throw the question to our live audience who are just itching to weigh in on this issue. Let me start with our youth representative from a student, Adeyemi Anagun.
Thank you very much. I would love to ask this mind-blowing question. And despite the fact that we have political statements and politicians who are major politicians from different parties in Nigeria, I would want to ask that, why is it that? Is it based on their ideologies and based on their perceptions that we find out that these politicians are leaving one party to the other?
Thank you.
Maybe we should let you.
Thank you. With respect to the leaving one political party to another, or what people generally call guilt of defection, I would like to say it is not, when you look at ideology, it first starts with an individual principle, then it translates to collective principle. That's when it becomes ideology. Now, the fact that individuals does not have principles, certain individuals, not all, that does not mean that we don't have ideology in Nigeria. For example, we have the likes of Olufalaye who have been in the PDP, in the SDP all this while. We have never heard of him going to another political party. We have the likes of Balarabe Musa, who has been in the PRP, and has never been in any political party, and he is a voice to be reckoned with in Nigeria. We equally have the likes of Sule Lamido, who has been in PDP, is a founding member of the PDP, but despite the storm that rocked PDP, he remained an active member of the PDP. So we still have people of principle in Nigeria. So the guilt of defection does not mean that we don't have people of defection, people of principle. We also have on the extreme side those who just want power by all means. For example, we have a case of the deputy governor of Kano State. On the 5th day of August 2018, our media was awash with the issue that he has resigned from being a governor and eventually decamped to PDP. From PDP, he went to PRP, People's Redemption Party. From People's Redemption Party, he moved to, now presently, on the precisely on the 21st day of December 2018, he went back to APC. We have such people. We also have in Plateau State, where I come from, Mr. Honorable Edward's son. He was in PDP, decamped to APC, contested for House of Reps, lost just last week. He went back to PDP.
Yeah, but we're looking at the generality and not specific individuals. When
yes.
You look at the generality of the carpet crossing, it's more than just one.
Yeah, because the basis is that if each party is based on an ideology, then it shouldn't be easy for you, if you believe in the ideology and in the party manifesto, to move easily from one party to the other.
And back again.
And then back, you know, within...
Yes.
I mean, some of the examples you gave are, we don't want the names, but the examples of the movement. There are many people who have done that kind of movement in this election cycle. There were many who did it in the last election cycle. There were many people who moved in one direction in 2014, 2015, who have moved in the other direction now in 2018.
And so you become confused.
You know, about why they left in the first place, especially if they are going back in the other direction now. That is where the root of the question that he is asking, I think, comes from, which is that...
Yes, we have ideology in Nigeria because one of the prerequisites for registration of a political party in Nigeria, you have to show your constitution, and the constitution must carry the aims and objectives.
Okay, let me just ask you, in terms of that aims and objectives that you're talking about, when you look at the rules of the APC, what their guiding principles, you have the first paragraph to promote and foster unity, and then to promote true federalism, and to evolve and develop economic policy, to promote and uphold internal democracy. How is that different from any other political party that you say, what are your aims and objectives, what is your... It's exactly the same.
Yes, what actually make it, the difference is the focus, the concentration. The APC now, if you look at the APC government now, they concentrate on that place you are just reading now is Article 7. Now they concentrate in sub-Article 7 and sub-Article 12, which is welfare-driven. You know, when we talk of ideology, we are talking about, we have already given a background of what ideology is, but we have about 5 major branches of ideology. 1, liberalism; 2, socialism; welfarism; progressive; and then the 5th...
this is for you now,
now
or generally?
No, he's talking generally.
I'm talking generally. Now, the policy thrust of the APC is driven around welfarism and progressive. Particularly
let me put you on pause there and come back to you, Chelsea. Now, he's mentioned 5 broad tendencies. Now, I don't know if there are only 5, but those 5, I know there's evidence in other societies of the existence of such ideologies in the parties, broadly speaking. Even where you have more than 2 main parties, you have a lot of parties, they broadly head in one direction or the other. And then you now have a few in between. Now, have you seen that evolving? I mean, leave the issue of 91 parties.
Even if it's the first 5.
I mean, even if we just talk about maybe the actual 10 even that are seen to be campaigning, that we're seeing their candidates outside who are talking about, we will do this, we will do that, we've already done this, and this is phase 2, and so on. Do you see any of these tendencies in any of those strands, even if you don't have to mention the names?
You know, 2 things are very important. Mahatma Gandhi talked about wealth without work and politics without principle. And my brother referred to the PDP document being a very fine document, and my response would be that documents only become living things based on the effectiveness of the implementation of their content. If you put together a fine document and as a political party, your ideology does not in any way make you an effective vehicle to be able to implement the content of that document such that it begins to have some form of positive impact on the lives of those citizens who form the key stakeholders in a democracy, then the document is totally useless, as it were. About the political parties, you know, because both of them are parties and I'm not. And so I'll speak to the issues very objectively. My point, my very quick answer would be that when you look at the top 2 parties, let's just narrow it down to both of them. The fact that one person can wake up, be a common criminal, a thief, a rapist, if you like, and be wholeheartedly accepted into another party, you know, just because it comes with some gravitas and some weight, does not is very telling of the character of the person who accepted him into the other party. And so whatever it is, no matter how fine that document is, it waters down the impact of the integrity of the ideology of that party if you allow a common criminal to come and run on the platform of your party.
Okay, let me just give him room to respond. I know he's itching to say something about what you said just now.
And then I'll go back to the APC.
And then you go back to that issue, yeah.
Very interesting. We are a product of the society.
Completely.
Like I mentioned, the document is a fine document. The challenge we have in this society is the fact that there is no accountability. If you cast your mind through the reign of PDP, you realize that whatever PDP said we stood for was acted on. In terms of giving equal opportunity, I mean, you look at the military today, you look at our civil servants today, the way people are appointed is tilted towards just one ethnic group, whereas the ideology of the party says equal opportunity. And you can very easily just retire a lot of people, promising professionals, just because you want to satisfy a particular ethnic group. And because there's no accountability, nobody can hold anyone responsible. Nobody can stop such action. So we have impunity. And then members just look at it and say, look, the people who are leading us, they've not shown any examples, so why should I be different? So this is the challenge that we have. I agree with you that people can't easily distinguish in the ideology. But the truth is that as citizens, we have come to accept nonsense from our leaders. For instance, the Constitution supersedes whatever ideology whatever document any party has put together. And when the leader violates the constitution and nothing happens, and everybody's living as if life continues, nothing is happening, then it becomes very worrisome, very, very worrisome.
I think her point was about the document that you have as a party and how you have been able to, translate that into good life, and all the things that you promised beyond.
Precisely, Ijoma. In terms of the economy, the focus is empowering the people. And you can see that during the reign of PDP. And in any state that PDP is, you can see transparent empowerment in the life of the people. Now, the equal opportunity that I mentioned, if you ask any average PDP person, what is the reason why you're in this party? It's because he or she believes that there's an equal opportunity for me.
Okay, so I'm not going to let you blow the trumpet of your party on this platform. Let her continue.
I'm sorry, just a second. I want to come back to you, sir, because earlier on you talked about the fact that even though those Toyosi described as common criminals have been able to glide in and out of organizations depending on where their butter is currently best attached to bread. You said it's not everyone. And you stopped at the point, or we stopped you at the point where you were talking about the 5 general broad classifications of the ideology. So I want to pick it up from there and then say, okay, fine. Not necessarily your party now. Look at the bigger picture.
Exactly.
And identify where you think these 5 that you yourself identified are currently in practice as you see it. Where?
Good point. Well, apart from in my party, I've not seen it anywhere. And if you ask me...
Nice one.
Yes,
that's a good response.
Not quite.
Yes.
But I will not allow you get away with
Not
it.
quite, no.
But
Yes.
I won't allow you get away with it for the simple reason that we're supposed to be examining the value of ideology to the political process. And by that, it means that, for example, if you say you are Party X and you have a manifesto, that manifesto must be driven by your ideology. I'll give you an example, which is non-partisan as at now. In the 50s, you see reference to it in Olu's report earlier. There was a certain party that started off from the social welfarist ideology.
Yes.
And it went on and said, as a result of that ideology, it was going to implement free education at all levels.
Completely.
So there's a link between the ideology and the manifesto.
I think what he's trying to say is, with the rest of the parties that you see, even if you're not saying the 91, can you see any clear link between what the party does and its ideology, or where the ideology is now moving to as a result of any other thing?
What they are saying.
We're not talking about the APC now.
Unfortunately, Joma, the reason why the ideology of this political party is important is because we are only going to be able to have leaders in the public sector of this country only through political parties. Our democracy is not just so mature enough to be able to throw up independent candidates to be able to run on the strength of their own merit. So the political parties have to be held accountable to a considerable degree, such that a governor steals money and the party can throw him out of the party. So, because in 2018, when we the young people were clamoring for the not too young to run, I kept saying to my friends, we need to make sure some people never become candidates of parties. Because parties are going to be able to throw up only one candidate for president,
okay, we're going
and one candidate for governor. Well, so the point is, at the end of the day, if a criminal becomes the flag bearer of that party, that's the person. If he has an upper hand than the other party, we end up having a criminal.
Okay, Toyosi, let me just hold you there. We're going to talk more about how the candidates emerge, whether the process is what it should be.
Yes.
And then the whole reason to talk about ideology anyway is how does it affect how we vote and what we do.